How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today I wanted to talk about 7 ways to find the courage to quit drinking alcohol or to change any other habit in your life. First way is to find a group of people who are doing the same thing or going through the same journey as yourself. You'd be surprised at how much this actually really helps and keeps you going, gives you motivation, gives you inspiration. You can get leverage from groups like these, where people hold each other accountable for what they're doing or what they're not doing. And you can find these things either in real groups, as in the real world, in physical. You go to a group, and I'm not talking about going to an AA meeting. I'm talking about pushing yourself forwards to do other things. When I'm talking about all this habit change and quitting drinking alcohol, if you go to a group that is focusing basically on the alcohol, then you will find it very difficult to drag yourself away from thinking about alcohol. So what you're basically looking for is a group of people who are who have the same aims and goals as you have, right? So for instance, joining a walking group, these people all have the same aim or goal in life, which is to explore the countryside and go walking in the mountains or down beaches or whatever it is that they're doing. Join a reading group where people are reading similar books and talking about it. Whatever floats your boat, right? Now, I think in the early days, everyone can benefit from a virtual group. We have a virtual online group with Facebook, a Facebook secret group, which is called Onwards and Upwards. Now, you won't find it online. But it's where people sort of help each other out in the early days, and talk about different things that they're doing in their lives and how their lives are changing, and the positive focus of this group is always on forward thinking. Not always, obviously people are having problems with quitting drinking, and people are putting up their problems or the solutions and stuff like that, So it's a good group. If you want to get an invite to this group, you have to sign up for our newsletter, which you'll find over on alcoholmastery.com. It's absolutely free. You'll get a daily video in your inbox, and you'll also get an invite to this group. As I say, you won't find it outside the group. You can't search for it because it's a secret Facebook group. A second thing to do is to write a list out of all the things that are scaring you about quitting drinking, right? So why are you not quitting drinking? What is it that's stopping you from doing it? Are you fearful that you won't be able to socialize without alcohol? Are you fearful that you won't be able to relax without alcohol? Whatever it is. And once you've written that list, then go through them one by one and do them while you're drinking. I don't mean while you're physically drinking. You don't actually drink for this part of it. You go out and you socialize without drinking, but you haven't quit drinking, if you understand what I mean. You relax for a couple of hours and you try and find an alternative way of relaxation while you're actually drinking, and just try them out and see what it is that's actually scaring you about the whole process. Number 3 is a famous one, which is be afraid of what you're afraid of, but do it anyway. And that's part and parcel of what we've talked about. And the second one is, finding the things that are scaring you and doing it anyway. But in this sense, it's stepping across that starting line and saying, fuck this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to quit drinking alcohol. It's just not having a positive effect in my life anymore. It's a toxin that is killing me. It's encouraging my children to be drug users, and I'm not playing any part in that life anymore. So and whatever avenue that takes me down, whatever scary road, I'm going to take it, right? So that's number 3. Be afraid and do it anyway. Number 4 is to build the courage to do it. A lot of courage is like a muscle, right? It's like any other thing that you do in your life. When you start first doing it, you're shit at doing it. Anything. Think about when you watch a baby first trying to walk. It's shit walking, At the end of the day, you look at a baby trying to talk. You just can't talk. It's crap. You just can't, it's whatever, it might sound cute and, all the parents go, oh, look, but as a communication device, it's better off doing what it's been doing all along, screaming and crying and all that kind of stuff, So just think about it. Anything that you ever do in your life is always going to be from this perspective of you're crap at doing it at the start and then you gradually build the muscle. And courage is no exception. You build your courage muscles bit by bit by actually doing what it is that you're afraid of doing, or doing the things that require the courage to do. It's like swimming. You don't learn how to swim by reading books or by somebody telling you how to swim. You have to actually get in and swim. You have to let go of the side. You have to have that courage to let go of the side and actually trust in yourself that the water, if you do certain things right, that the water is going to hold you up and you're not going to drown, right? That takes courage. That's what life is like. That's what building courage is all about, is doing things step by step, stage by stage, until you get them done, basically. The next one, number 5, is to focus your energies and focus your courage muscles, if you want, on the people that you care about in your life, right? You're much more likely to be courageous for somebody else than for yourself. The person, as I've said time and time again, that is my inspiration in life, that gives me determination, that will allow me to overcome almost any obstacle in life, is my son. And it's that relationship that I have with my son and the way I feel about him that drives me to do these things, that gives me the bollocks to do it, because without that, I swear to God, I've got very small balls and I don't take many risks in life. But whereas my son is concerned, I take a lot higher risks. I try and make sure that the risks are as thought out as possible so that I'm not taking stupid risks, but I do take risks nonetheless, and I'm more likely to push myself to do courageous things for him. Number 6 is to get rid of the drama. The drama feeds the fear. The fear itself doesn't exist in the outside world, right? Fear is a product of your own imagination, right? There are things that provoke fear. We have a fear reaction which is very real, right? The fight or flight response is a very real response. I'm not saying that that's not real, but what causes the fear is your reaction to the fear is one thing, but what causes it is something completely different. What caused one person to have fear doesn't cause another person to have fear, right? You can have fear about something, an irrational fear about something, and you could do it a couple of times and then the fear is gone. We have a rational fear about heights, right? So if you're walking along a cliff edge, you don't get too close to the cliff, right? Because fine well that if you go over the edge of that cliff, that's it. Game over, right? That's a rational fear. But 99% of the things that we fear in this life are not going to happen to us. They are fueled by the stories that we tell ourselves, by the drama that unfolds minute by minute as we tell ourselves that, oh no, I can't do this, and here's the reason why I can't do this, and this is the excuse, no, I can't do it because of that, because of the other. These are all dramatic storylines that we are, as I say, script writing in our own heads. That's what you have to do. Get rid of the drama, get real, and think about these things from that perspective. Like I say, don't be stupid. There's no point in taking risks. Risky behaviour is completely different to what most people fear about quitting drinking alcohol is the unknown. It's about what might happen when they quit drinking. It's about how they're going to socialise, as I say. What other people are going to say about them. How they're going to appear in their own peer group. How they're going to come across. And a lot of the time, you can't help those fears, the natural fears, but they are fears that you can build up in your own head to the extent that they become like a a straitjacket. You just can't move because of them. You can't do anything because of them. You know, you certainly can't quit alcohol because you're so fearful about what might happen. But generally, the thing that you fear most is not going to happen. You know, and if it does happen, it's not the same fear that you thought it was going to be in the first place. You know, so number 7 is to know that you're in great company. And I'll read you out a few quotes here. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that what we fear of doing most is usually what we need to do most. Gandhi said, the enemy's fear, we think it's hate, but it's fear. Winston Churchill said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. You know, we all fear. We all have courage at the same time. We all doubt our courage at times. You know, even the people, everyone in your life, no matter who they are, even your role models, the people that you look up to the most, they fear, right? They have doubts about their own courage at some point in their lives. In some situations, you know, a lot of people have fear, and in some situations, and not fear in others. A lot of people have courage in some situations, and they lose that courage in other situations. It depends on the person. It depends on the situation. It depends on the motivation. And the reason why is a big motivator. If you haven't got the reason why to do something, then you are also going to either completely lack the courage to do it. If you've got no conviction to do it, you're going to have no courage to do it, you know. Conviction and courage sort of go together, don't they, you know. So at the end of the day, remember that we all are in the same boat. We're all trying to get through our lives in the best way that we possibly can. We're all trying to, you know, do the best for ourselves and our families and the people that we care about. And you know, courageous deeds are something which build up over time, and you can often do something courageous in your life without you even realizing that you're doing it. That's the thing. It's, you step across the line, you say, that's it, I'm fucking doing this regardless of what's happening, and then it's one step after another. And that's basically what it all boils down to, is move forwards one step after another. Don't look at these things like they're huge milestones that you have to overcome. They're not. One step after another, after another. That's how all habits are constructed, deconstructed. It's how all fears are deconstructed or built. It's how all courage is maintained or lost. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Stay safe, keep the alcohol out of your mouth, stay courageous, onwards and upwards. Good luck to you, take care, bye.